Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, children, public. Welcome to the TV screen. Should we call it a computer screen? Should we call it the screen? Is it screening us? Who's watching us? Because that's what my dreams were about last night. How they watch us through every element that is out there. Whatever they know about Matrix, they have adapted themselves to the Matrix, to where they know the way the Matrix works and how to get their information, whichever information they need. You see, if they were able to exactly put us under a real spell, then we'd already be trapped in their arms, like they are in the other side of the world. So there's some piece of this puzzle that's missing. The thing I want to talk about is, listen to this puzzle. Guy goes into the hospital, he's seeing things. They give him a little medication, they keep him there 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they look at him. The doctor doesn't show up, nobody really talks to him, and they don't know what's going on, but they still keep him there. Gets out of the hospital, grabs a bottle of vodka or whatever, and he starts drinking out of control, and they shouldn't have let him out. What was the primary subject before he went in? Right now in my town, they want to stop every single car for a breathalyzer test. During the holidays, I understand, but the odd periodic test, I don't go for it. You know what I also don't go for? If you're going to be working for the government, the police force, the firemen, the only time somebody should have really an advantage over anybody is the firemen. Police have to put up with it, and so do the governments. When I say put up with it, what I'm actually saying to put up with is sometimes you have to understand the people. And there's a lot that do. I'm not saying you don't, but for the few that don't, this is for you. Understand the people. You don't want to put someone in jail. You don't want to bring out a lawyer. You don't want your town to have people in jail to know you put people away. We don't care if they're selling marijuana, cocaine. What's the difference to us? What's the difference to us if somebody's selling drugs? Now, if somebody's trying to persuade someone to do drugs, well, that they work on because of their friends. Well, this is where we come into society and we have to work against it. We spend more money trying to stop stupid things than anything else. The drug trade, the only problem with the drug trade is if this group doesn't let that group sell. Well, if everybody can grow their own and manufacture their own, maybe nobody would actually be in the business anymore. The same thing is what happened to the gambling business, and it all became legal, and they gamble all throughout the world. They do the same thing with marijuana, cocaine, crack cocaine. There's more people doing more drugs sitting at home 65 and over than there is 65 and under. Because the hospitals are giving them the drugs and just keeping them away. Don't go out, don't think. He doesn't think the same way as you. I'd certainly like to go up to my doctor and say, let's try to get off the pills. The only thing she's going to say to me is, how much drugs you're smoking. I go, I'm sorry, I don't smoke any drugs. I says, is there another question you have for me? She says, you smoke marijuana? I says, I sure do. How about you? She wouldn't take to that. She thinks something's wrong with me. After 10 years, you couldn't see what's wrong with me? I'm enjoying the hell out of getting all this information. Yes, we all know that if your mind goes too quick and you're tense and everything, yeah, some people can blow up, but they put it on all the people. I'd love to get off this medication. I think this medication does more harm to me than anything else. I'm always questioning, how's the medication going to do tomorrow if I'm feeling a little bit different? So every time I feel a little bit different, I feel twice as different because of the medication. But they keep you on it because the only thing they'll say, well, if something's going to happen, you know, you're just going to end back up in and we'll lock you up. Won't let you out for a cigarette and send a guy. Well, send the guy downstairs with me. There's no problem. You don't want people locked up. You want them free. You see what happens when things get locked up. You know what else I think? The concentration in our body of the acidity cuts open the ulcer. The ulcer is a continuous world, which means I'm looking for information. It's a universal world. The question is, they break into the ulcer, they break up the creatine inside of us, and they recreate within one of our glands, maybe in our DNA, our blood, however you want to say the science. Our DNA has been zipper typed. I haven't started this yet, but I'm going to be working on this. Our blood or our DNA, I don't know how it works, but we're zipper typed, in which means we don't put, it's not really a ladder, but it's more like a zipper ladder, in which it fits in like a puzzle on each side, and that way it's able to lock.
Instead of just going in, it can easily come out. Well, it would spread open. It would go in as a point and spread open flat, creating eyes on angles, going all the way up the DNA ladder. Less looking like a ladder and more looking like the beehive, the hexagon. So they're intermanipulating these cells or whatever to actually grab in. Okay? And that grab is obviously going to have an angle of the grab. Wherever it is, it's probably part of the Z family or the N family. The reason why there's two Zs and there's two Ns, in which the Z is a funny letter because it does so many things. I don't have it in here, okay? But when you draw the ends of a Z, I'm not talking about any bro. Well, this is just one of them that I'm working on right now. You see, it's these designs, okay? You see the Rubik's, the cleft of the chin, the Rubik's Cube in between, the division of the two sides. This side is on this side is on this side, but there's one wire going across connecting both sides. The same thing with your eyes, your nose. A doesn't exist until there's a line that crisscrosses. A doesn't exist until, how does the line go down? I'm trying to see if I have it in this page. I'm looking. No, I don't have it in here, but I'll explain it to you. This is exactly what first went on in life. This. If you want an A, all you have to do is continue the line, and continue the line, and now you have an A. You brought an A from a D, but for me, this is the first thing that was created. First it was this, and then it was this. One of these is 951. The other one is 357. They both equal to 15. They're both sides of the eggs, but somehow that DNA might get split right over here, right inside the 5 hole. And they might be actually doing this, and then something like this. Like I told you, I don't know anything about the DNA or the blood and anything, but I will be looking into it. But what I can tell you is your ID is more of anything than anything else, because before this can be created, we need these two angles to exist. So what was created first? The angle? Of course. The angle was way before anything else. That's how we got the line on the angles of these squares. Here's the 0. Okay? I don't know if we have another one. Do we have it on this page? Let me see. You're looking with me? N, N, Z, N, H, I. There's other things to work on because we already know that. Is this an O? Is this an O? Or can the O just be made in one square on line? On line. Versus, see V and S? They both look like a 5. Roman numeral 5. And this one looks like a 5. Versus, okay, this one? Versus, versus this. This is an angle. If you want to build an angel, we talk about this. If we want no angle, it's going to be flat. This is going to be what type of design? This is a bigger design. Both the designs can be made within their own box. This one will only touch the corners. Every time I make a circle around each one, it automatically creates an X. With inside, it will open up the mouth of this O. And then we'd have a combination of letters that will be describing to you what the X is all about. Just like Planet X, Nibiru, and ISON are all, the eyes are on, the ice is on, the ice, the app. Do I have this page with me over here? The DNA duplication add-on to the blood. Now sold at Tim Hortons, and they call it the ice cap. What they put on top, the ice cap, where it splits every piece coming down to this side and this side. The splitting of the DNA strands. Now you have two different sides. When you do the reflection, this will create a 0. Roulette, piano, DNA, another form of trying to get out what the blood or DNA is. The elements, the games, the sports. Duck, duck, goose, 447. 4774, 620062, and the number of moons. The support of the year. The seasons. Is it duck season? Is it hunting season? What did Bugs Bunny go hunting for?
Or was it the chatter of your teeth? Eat. Time, heaven. Time. T. The division of E and E, the electronic. The two parts of your mouth, the dividing up of the electronic. The setup of 5 dice. Why? Because if you put 5 dice in a row, okay, or you put money in a row, okay, it's either going to be this way or it's going to be this way. It's going to be one of the two. It will be close as you can get it. You will always try to make sure everything is close. Now, I don't want to tell you that this makes a design, but it does. And don't forget, whoop, I can't seem to get this straight. Okay, so edge to edge, okay, edge to edge. This makes a design. I'm not sure what the design is. You see the color of this? This is gold or bronze. It has 2 zeros. This is bluish, baby blue. It has 1 zero. That's 3 zeros. This one has 1 zero. It's 4 zeros. This one has 2 zeros. It's 6 zeros. And what I've been having a hard time finding lately is a 20, and I don't know why. But we have 7 zeros. Here it is. We have 7 zeros. What color is this? Is this green? So now we have to distinguish that this is an egg. Inside of that 20 is an egg. It also is curled over to look like 90, to look like 70, and to look like a 6 and a 0. Do you know why? Because you are the 9 birth of 76, which is 13 lines, 7, and inside is the 6 lines of the flag. So you have 9, 7, and 6. And within the 2, if you take a look, you have H2O. Well, that's the way. At the same time, if you take a look into the corner, see the 1, 10, 10. See the way the 90 is, but if you turn it this way, 10 again. Then if you turn this over here in the train, 10 again. And then you turn 20 over here, and it's 10 again. And it's a little different on everyone? Not really. It's always the same thing. See the way it shows the box? Here, 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 and here. The other thing I wanted to show you that I seem to be missing is this. Okay, do you see that? And let me see if I have it in here in my deck of cards. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to look for it. Unless you want to study this for a minute. We'll do this like this. Coffees for anyone? Anyone coming for a coffee? Maybe we'll learn how to do our ABCDs. Do you see the way 1 comes up first? In D, and then D, and ID. So the letters in the alphabet are a lot different than you think. And if you can take a look at the A, it shows on this side over here a Y in between. Then the 1 is standing up straight, the same way the 1, which is usually a 1, that should be an I, is not an I and not a 1 because it's an L. An L is a wing. Why is it an L? This is an L. It's a wing. It's a short part and a long part to the wing. I also wanted to show you the ID. I was thinking of something. Yes, I'm going to do this. The ID. I need to think. Over here you see the spot in the corner. 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, cut corners. You see the inside, the bull. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 on the inside, 1 on the outside. Both of them doors. Open this door. You walk out into the walkway and you step into the world of creation. 1 is a back door, 1 is a front door, whichever kind of door it is. See the T-wings? You go down, you slide here, you come into one of 2 worlds. Either on the inside or on the outside. Now I was talking about, there were 7 zeros on this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What does that look like? 6 zeros? 7 zeros. You're a $1 million baby. You're a $1 million baby to them. Not 10 million. 10 million maybe when you leave, but you're a $1 million baby to them because 7 zeros is 7 positions. So what you do is you mark up 5 positions, you put 1 in the center, a door on each side, so you end up with 9 zeros. But only one side you're only going to have actually 7 zeros, and the other side you're going to have 8 and 9. Although you're going to take up 9 positions, in life you don't take up 9 positions. You minus the position from when you were born, you're born. You're no longer in the stomach, you're out. Take away that number. Put it where you're living. In number 5. You got 5 on the left, you got 5 on the right, you got 3 in the center. Those are the 3 you came into the world with. They're still inside of you, but the number don't work from the same position. E-I-E-I-O, 5-9, and E and I, and E and I, and I, and E, and N-S-T-O. S-T-O. Watch out, because the letters somehow are going to end up spelling how our DNA molluscable tape, whatever it is, but how it's made. Just want to show you one thing, since I'm not really looking for that deck of cards, but I may still have it in a drawer here. Let me look. Did I tell you last night I had a video going on for 4 hours? I was doing this video, and there was still a video going on. Same camera, 2 different YouTube channels. Okay, this is what I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to design it right for you. Okay, this is a circle. I made a circle over a square. See, here's the square. Now I'm going to make a circle over the square. Now either I can go X, and every time I'll go X, there's going to be a circle over here and X, a circle over here and X, a circle over here and X, a circle over here and X. Looks like your alarm clock. At the same time I make the X, there's going to be a division between here and here, here and here, here and here, here and here. I don't know what the amounts are, I don't know what the calculation is, I'm just telling you what's going to be. At the same time, it almost looks like Garfield's cat, and if it was on this corner, you'd say it was some sort of a turtle going the other way. Okay, but anyways, the turtle's head is a D. Remember I was telling you about I, D? Well, there's such a big mix-up because this is 1 in Roman numerals, it's 9 in the alphabet, and sometimes it's shaped, it looks like a number 1 on this side. So I'm not going into there, but save that thought. So every time you do this, automatically this here, okay, is the X in a circle, XO, 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 XO. X, 10, O, 15, X, 24. Why? Which X is it? If it's the major X, then it's in the 10 world X and it'll mean what it means in that world. This is fixed. This one is not a fixed X. This one is fixed. This one is permanent. This is the space. This one, if you notice, is offline between the lines in order because it goes up to here and down to here and up to here and down to here. It's sort of like tick-tock, tick-tock. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are all corner-to-corner lines. So if I have the original X, or I counted them all, okay, XO, don't forget, becomes 24, it becomes I, 9, plus 15, O, equals 24X. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals 6 and 8, and the payoff of 6 and 8 is 76. And that's where I showed you in the $20 bill, that's over here. Here's your 7, and then over here, you can actually have your 5. You can do whatever you want, but once you go like this 0 becomes an 8. D and D. The minute you split a 0, you now have 414. If you have 414, you have 505. We're not counting the center. This is the way we should be playing, 101. We're not playing this way, we're playing 212 in our life. Why? Because instead of moving over 101 and playing boardwalk to the Mediterranean, always on go, we've moved over 2 positions, and we're playing 202 and 808. The extension of 808 puts us into danger of hitting a train track. If you hit a train track, you hit number 11. Choo-choo, and I, and HHH, and H2O, and into the world you come. Do you understand? If you hit that train track in Monopoly, you come into the world. At 202, you do not, but at 212, you do, because now you're allowed to play your own role at 212. The total is 5, and 212 is 5. You're into the 10 world. You've touched everything between each side. Don't forget, Monopoly, okay?
Once you go 10, you can go this 10, or you can go this 10, or you can go this 10. You can go 10, 10, 10, but you can't go this 10 because this one will put you in jail. The other thing about that is this over here would be 24, 24, 24, 24 would be 96 plus the center 24. Would be 96 and 24 would be 120. Add up 1 to 15 equals 120. The other thing about this, if you take a good look, this is what I'm going to show you next. We're cutting the corners here. The corners have now been cut. You see that? Now I really have to show you the other piece of this, because if I don't show you the other piece, then it's a waste. You got to see the other piece of this. Very important. Very important. There's got to be. What happened to all my cards? I had cards and cards and more cards and less cards. Oh, here they are. Okay. Wow, look what happened to my card. Got a little water, look what happened to it. So now we have another thing to think of, right? More water and less water, more bloated, less bloated. Okay, we're looking through the deck, we're looking through the deck, we're looking through the deck, we're looking through the deck. I'm looking for a king in this deck. Looking for the king of clubs in this deck. There he is. King of clubs versus my design. You see the sad face on the fish, but the two corners are open? The reason for the sad face on the fish is he has to pass a little bit over being born. You see the way it's over this line, the vision of the what's it called of life, the turn of life. Well, he connects this side onto this side, 7 and 9. 7, 8, 9, because they bridged them together, and he became into the world over here. See the flower in the center? Although this is showing you electric and birth. How do I know electric and birth? Well, because pull shows the same colors. Look at the fleur-de-lis on the top, okay? Look at the fleur-de-lis on the bottom. On the striped sword, there's lines going in, there's line going in. He's looking away both times from the, you see he's looking at the suit in this one. In this one, he's not looking at the suit. In this one, he is looking at the suit. So what happens is, let me see if I can fix this. Let's see if it works. Now you tell me those two fish don't look alike. They're exactly alike. Every one of these cards tells you. You see the way it's red? What exactly does red on the bottom card? I don't know. What exactly does this? We've been spliced and diced apart, good for us and good against us. Why do I say that? Because to live forever and ever and to have the dream. Now for DNA duplication, after what I just noticed, they can duplicate your DNA and make another one of you in 2 seconds. They spliced and they zipper spliced it together. You don't know what zipper splice means? Well, tough luck. I don't care. Of course I care. What, you take me seriously? When I stop caring, I'd like to know when I'll ever stop caring. Can I stop caring? I got strong, let me explain to you. I can just look at something that's very, very indecent and terrible and just completely forget about it and go blind to it. Sometimes you just have to know when to be blind to situations where, yes, the only way to help is to help till the end, but sometimes the end has already happened. Sometimes the misery is to be put out of it and not to go continuing on into it. Richie Rich Digest. I'm quite sure it tells you a whole lot. Do you see the way they designed this? It can be an H and it can be an I. But if you really look at this properly, it can also be a Z and an N. The other part I did want to do about the N letter. Here's your DNA, and here's the wings. Now my question is, if this is the DNA and this is the wing, if I flip this upside down, I'll come up with another DNA and another piece of the wing. It's almost like they spliced together, not the strands, but the wings
part of it. What seems so insignificant to actually what binds it together. Oh, in fact, I can tell you perfectly. On all medications, they need stuff to keep it together. Well, it's that stuff that keeps it together is the actual DNA mix they need to split it apart. I don't know if I'm coming across properly. You saw what this was, communication, right? And then there's these circles. So I showed you this, I showed you that. DNA, H2O, Barack Hussein Obama, H2O. So H2O is the spirit water, the spirit of 67. Hasbro monopoly, okay, is 73 years to 2008. See, if I would have saw it before, I would have said Nibiru. But I'm not. Since it's 73, it's 5 years later, now it's 78, the year of the Queen. The Queen holds the wings to life. Monopoly, the $100? Is it $100 or is it a junta? Red dollar. A hunt is a dog. A hunt is a dog. So when they say to you 100, they're saying one dog. A hunt. Don't forget, whoever made the chemistry of the communication, the science of the smartest people, they know. There's people now here in Quebec, this is going to go real quick. If you want to correct problems, and it's a money problem, the first people that should be looked at is those who take care of the money, the accountants. So I guess the accountants who make whatever amount of money, I can tell you one thing, down with them, because at the end of everything, 3/4 of the population that is rich to poor is always paying the maximum. Those who are intermediate, making $30,000 a year, never seem to be able to find a big enough tax hole other than, hey, invest it. Take it and put it away for when you're 80 years old, so you'll have a nest egg. I think we all somehow should have a nest egg anyways. Okay? I don't believe in going to the government and then receiving $600,000 a year after that. You should never, your means should, unless you're making hundreds of millions of dollars, you should never have any reason to need $1 million or $2 million or $3 million every single year. I think there are some years you can go with $250,000. I'm quite sure if I had $250,000, I think if I had $250,000 for the rest of my life, I'd be okay. Legions and tigers, lions and Sion, and the lamb is Real Islam. The sun is a universal, means more than one planet. The U.S. is universal, means more than one state. It means more than one country. Universal is universal. The lions, the jaguars, the bears, the lambs, the rabbits, the astrology. Taxes, tax relief, aid, hope, and the Hopi Indian. When all hope is lost, when all hope is gained. When no hope was there to begin with, because everything was in the righteous, we need not know of the word of hope. So we showed you this over here. Every time you circle a corner, you automatically get 24 and 15 is 39. 39, 39, 39. 100 and what? 120? No, 117. 11 and 7. But you have to know, the only way to get the 11 is with a 5 and a 6. That means the only way to get a 7 is with a 2 and a 1. 5, 6 you win, 7 you win, 2, 5, 1, 6, create your 7. 11, 12, 13, 14. Man in creation. 1 and 7 makes 8, 2 and 7 makes 9. 11 and 7 makes 72 of 86. Why? Because on the dice cubes, 5 and 2 is 7, 1 and 6 is 7. If you see 5 and 2 and 1 and 6 on a dice, and you only have one dice, that means the dice cube is turned sideways. And it's turned sideways so that the 6 and 5 can be on the same side, or is it standing up and you're choosing from the highest and the lowest? 6 and 1 would become 7, but 5 and 2 wouldn't become 7. Up and down the dice, or reflecting this way.
When the dice are lying on the ground, I'm assuming that this is what we look at. When the dice is upside down, we look at them as equal. They're both the same as each other. A 2 and 5 would be a 5. A 3 and 4 would be a 5. A 1 and 6 would be a 7. But everything else is 7, 5, 5, 7, 5, 7, 7, 5. 1, 5, 5, 1, that's when Jesus was born. I don't have when Moses was born because he's got a 009. When Moses was born, the year was 2209. 22 for life, of the 9 birth in the 20 world, of 2009. And this is when my big spark began. Just after 2009, the signals kept coming in. But regardless, 3 by 72, 3 by 15 is 45. 72, 45. Now the game is 41. 72, 45, and 41. Or 72, 45, and 23. The difference between this and this is 18 creation. We get 7286, and I just wanted to let you know that I was working to get 7286 anyways. 1 and 4 the game, 2 and 3 is between it. 1 and 4 is the game, 4 and 5 is the reconnection of the electricity. 1 becomes I, it becomes E and I, or D-I and E, for the dice, or death. Till death do you part. Take the dice and put them on the table. Throw the dice more often than not. When you throw the dice and they separate from each other, they create a 7. And everybody always says, how come when the dice separate I get a 7? Till death do you part. When 1 leaves 6, you are nothing but 6 feet under, with 2 feet up from the beta world of the one spirit, no longer, but your wings now come together. And that one dot spirit connects your 2 wings, and you're released from that 2-part DNA from something of 12, 14. Is it a 14? I like to know, I got to do this DNA and blood thing because guaranteed there's a rotation inside of it that means something. We said at the beginning of this video, how did we come to which angle and what letter or number was created first? I'm not too sure, because I'm not too sure what the angle was of the first world. I know right now everything is like this. How do I know? It's raining outside on this angle. On what angle? On this angle. When you want to move things aside, you put them on this angle. Hey, look! Got an ace right here. That's a D. No, it's a V. It's upside down. It's your life, and it's all upside down because you don't know the difference. Are you actually looking for the difference? How hard do we have to try in order to live life? What if we did this? We take 10 million people, and we say 2,500,000 are kids. And we say 2,500,000 are old. And we say 5 million people are ready for life. But in the 5 million people, there's 1.5 million people married. And out of 1.5 million people married, every single one of them has a kid. And they all stay home. So now there's only 1 million people working, the rest of the people are going to school. We have to distribute money to all these people. They all have to live just as much as you. Without them, you have no job. Without them, you're not a lawyer. Without them, you're actually nothing. So unless you have enough of them, you will always be nothing, and you will be considered just as they are considered to be nothing. You are now nothing, nothing at all. Because without them, you're nothing. So if you want something more, you have to support the less to get more. But eventually, over time, you're going to knock out the less. The lesser will become more, and the more will become less, and you'll have nothing at all, and we'll be back to the drawing board. You cannot go into the stock market and keep saying, okay, the stock market is worth $100 today, but in 6 months it's worth $600. No, because if it went up 500, somebody lost 500. So you can't do that. So whatever's going on in the stock market is all a blind debate. It'll go on for 8 or 10 years. Who cares? The money doesn't exist. People put in to take out. Half the money's dead. All the working people put in the money, but the rest of the money is dead. Dead cells. Putting people in jail for crimes you helped them commit? I don't get it. But I do know the aurora of time will come. Oh, I see it right now. You have to see this. The hair in the cards the rainbows. This is Italy. Italy getting the boot, and this is Finland. This is the cell. Which cell? Your sleeping cell of two oceans, the Mediterranean Ocean, the aurora that's coming to the sky. Why do I say sky? Because this name is just above. Look the way they make this inside here going across, and they color it in the same color. It's a 7, all the way across in a 7. 77. What do you have on top? It's a 4. Now you notice now, let me do what I gotta do. What would you see here? Right here. 4, 1, or 7, 1, 1771. Everything is a partial of a clue. Don't ask if it's on the good side or the bad side. Be happy you noticed it. But everybody has to remember this. This is the water. This has one line separating the two sides. If we separate the two sides, will we or will we not retain the design of the letter? If you notice on George, there's a tail. It's actually an O. It's Joro. It's the eggs. It's the barley. It's the oats. What does it mean 7 and 5 together? Went to the bank today. I noticed there was a teller, and she told me nothing. She said, "Are you still working at this place?" I go, "Why are you asking me? Is it your business?" And I'm like saying, well, that's not nice to say. I may as well just tell her. I told her no, but you know what? Anyways, let me see what else I have over here. Da Vinci, David and Goliath. Small little things I was doing at the beginning when I started. NASA. Entities, Ethnics, Tim Hortons, Gatex 13, something about Gatex 13. See the way I made this longer? It was a pathway into the heart. I'm just going to see if I can find anything else. It's really funny, but the value of X and Y in some of the designs we make. You know what I'm saying? We can be living right here. I don't know what else there is in here. In one of my revelations earlier on, I revelated that our universe will bring the skies together and the planets closer together. And God sees his reflection within the moonlight of the stars, which actually means because every single star has information on us. It's not only the government's taking over, but God is watching everything that's happening right through your own eyes. It goes right into your system. And if a correction may need be made, there's going to be a correction. And guess what? A lot of the times you're correcting yourself. Your duplication of who you are is not even on this planet. It's in a machine, and it's another person who is you, the replica, who you really are, because you're not this, is. And then here's just a couple of things I made. M, K, K. See what happens? 1, 1, or LL. Why do we go 1, 1, or LL? Because L, the 12th letter, and I, the 9th letter, is in the same family of 3, 6, 9, 12. They're both red. And this is how we get the A. But this is also the way certain people design their letters. See, we have no crisscross on the A. If you flip this upside down, it makes it crisscross. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for being here. 1 equals 4. 4 equals 8. 2 equals 4. 3 equals 6. 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 9 all equal each other. And then we have the beginning. Look at that. Instead of Hermes, it goes Herma. REM sleep again. We are in a dream of some sort. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that we're in a dream, that our minds, if I was a child right now, a certain child,
The parent doesn't want the child to stay at the hospital. No matter what happens, these psychologists and psychiatrists, they're psychotic, but they're real. But if we had a better care at the hospital, it'd be a lot easier. Be able to go out 5-6 times a day. Yeah, outside, play around, basketball, whatever, cold, in a gym, watching TV, not being secluded and staying away from everything. You gotta slow down to do nothing. Anyways, Raphael, 7286 in the constellation of Peices. How many are up there? One, two, three. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Where are you? Oh, you're over. Oh my God, you should see this. Oh my God, I'm going to try to get you here. Lately, there's been this new little bug in my house. I don't know what it is. I don't want to scare you. But the cat is talking to it. You see it on the floor, you can see it walking. It's a little green thing. See my cat is moving back? She's playing with it. She's talking to this little thing, and now she's eating it. And that's one of the reasons I really don't want to get rid of my cats anymore. She's eating it from the floor. This is what has happened. I don't know how you do this. I wish I can just look right inside. How do you stop this?